Back again. This is UFC Fight Night in the midst of COVID-19, so it's no audience, but I want to get on here and cover it anyway. I want to go over the fight card right quick. Right now they have Trinaldo and Makdessi on deck, but let me go over the fight card right quick. It's not a heavy card, of course, you know, with everything that's going on, but it is some nice matchups. It is some nice matchups, I would have to say. You know, currently on deck is Francisco Trinaldo. He's 24-7, and John Makdessi is 17-6. Next one in the light heavyweight division is a guy who was touted as the next big star, Johnny Walker. His record is 17-4. He's going in there against Nikita Krylov. The one thing about Johnny Walker is, he ran into Corey Anderson, who a lot of fight fans, the casuals especially, thought that he was going to defeat. And it just didn't happen, man. Corey Anderson ended up stopping Johnny Walker. I mean, this was the next big deal. They was really putting some energy behind him, and he got stopped. Now he's back, and it should be a very entertaining fight. You know why? Because Johnny Walker is an entertaining fighter. Regardless of him losing, he's pretty entertaining guy, man. You know, he's in the light heavyweight division, a very lit division right now with John Jones as the champion. Just finished, his fight with Dominic Reyes, of course, but it has a lot of heavy hitters in the light heavyweight division, a lot. Next, you have RenatoMoicano against DamirHadžović. Moiciano is 13-3, and Hadžović is 13-5. That should be a good fight. But head into the co-main event, you have, I believe, two-time BJJ world champion DemianMaia is 28-9 against GilbertBurns. This is going to be nice. I'm looking forward to that one right there. The backpack, DemianMaia, man, he's been in there with some of everybody. His jiu-jitsu game is incredible. GilbertBurns, he's going to have to do enough to negate that. He's not a slouch on the ground either. GilbertBurns is not a slouch on the ground. So DemianMaia has ran into trouble with fighters who has good takedown defense and very superb boxing. Because, boxing and good takedown defense can negate a BJJ practitioner. I must give credit to DemianMaia, right? He has improved over time. He has improved. But we'll see how he does against GilbertBurns, man. And then, of course, in the main event, we have KevinLee, 18-5. He was trying to get back on track, man. KevinLee hit a stint where he was losing. It might have been his camp, whatever's going on in his personal life, he was losing. So now that he's back, he's coming off a very, you can call it an upset, because a lot of people didn't have him tagged to win that fight. And he was able to pull it out, though. He's going in there with a crafty jiu-jitsu guy. His stand-up game is no slouch either, man. CharlesOliveira, who's 28-8. So this is going to be a nice card, man, especially the next 4 fights after this one that's on deck right now. We only have 50 seconds left out of a 3rd round fight. Each round is 5 minutes apiece. So we're heading to the final seconds. And this is in Brazil, right? No audience due to COVID-19. No audience. Nope. See, the one thing about Trinaldo and Makdessi, they styles match up well. You know what I'm saying? They styles match up well, but sometimes, just when I was about to say it, Trinaldo goes in for a takedown. He didn't get it, though. But, their styles can make a fight kind of boring sometimes because they just stand around and try to land heavy punches. So it can be kind of boring. But Both are tough and been in there with some very top tier names. So that fight is over, and we're going to wait for the decision. For all the MMA fans that follow the sport of mixed martial arts, you know, be sure to drop the comments, share the content. It's all good. It is all good. And if you don't, you know, you might want to hang around. You might learn a little bit here and there outside of boxing. Knowing more than one combat sport is always healthy. You know what I'm saying? I see we still have some regional cards taking place. They didn't shut that down for the COVID-19. You know, I can understand why the I don't know, man. I was about to say I can understand why the major leagues like the NBA, National Basketball, you know, all them leagues, NLB, they all cancel and everything, right? NCAA. But it seems like all they could have did was just, you know, didn't allow the audience, didn't allow any fan participation. Then you have combat sports out here still ongoing. Of course, Bellator was shut down, canceled yesterday. Trinaldo got the victory. But, you know, Bellator canceled. I was surprised that Bellator canceled, man. They had a pretty decent card. Michael Bisping account. A lot of people sleep on Michael Bisping, man. He's seriously one of those dudes that don't play. I'm glad to see him retired, though, man. He ended up losing an eye from the fight game. And usually when you have a fight card in Brazil, it's usually a lot of Brazilian fighters, of course. You know what I'm saying? It's usually a lot of Brazilian fighters. They're just going through the post-fight. I'm just waiting for them to get to the next fight because it's a little bit weird not hearing any fans outside the gate. You know what I'm saying? It's so quiet. Even on TV, it's so quiet. Trinaldo up here talking about guys running away from him. Come on, Trinaldo, man. All the Brazilians, every time they at home, they act like they ain't never talked on the mic. So Johnny Walker, man, is rocking green hair with a freaking mohawk, Scooby-Doo looking. You know, I mean, I guess that's his new look. I mean, don't get it twisted. The dude can fight. But I don't know what that green hair is about, to be honest. Nikita Krylov. This should be interesting. You know, I mean, Krylov, if he goes in here and defeat Johnny Walker, it's definitely going to catapult his name to a higher ranking position. Real talk. So it's commercial right now, waiting for the next fight. Let me while they're doing that, it's gonna be a minute before they bring up the next fight. So I'm guessing from looking at the news, Conor McGregor, man, is venting about his auntie's death. And from my understanding that his auntie may have passed from the COVID-19. I'm not sure, but I'm about to find out. So I'm not sure where he's getting with this. This is cited from MMA Junkie. They say in a lengthy statement issued an Instagram post Friday, UFC lightweight and featherweight former UFC lightweight and featherweight champion McGregor, 22-4, expressed his frustration with COVID-19 in addition to a self-assessment of hygiene and handshaking. McGregor revealed his auntie Ann Moore has died. So McGregor quoted, "I get a phone call telling me that my lovely auntie Ann has passed away." McGregor wrote, "I couldn't go live anymore. My poor little friendly, loving auntie, my mother's sister. This stupid effing virus, expletive. What's the expletive is happening?" McGregor did not reveal any more details, but expressed that he felt in the wake of the recent events. I'm not getting where he's comparing this or even putting it in the same space of the headlines dealing with COVID-19. I just don't know where he's going with this. I don't understand. I know his auntie died, but I'm just saying, you know, what does it have to do with COVID-19 though? Why you it may be because of his traveling. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't able to travel. I'm not sure. So they're showing highlights of Johnny Walker right now. I wonder if they're going to show the Corey Anderson. What else in MMA news? Michael Lewis said this need improved Spanish flu is a real thing. Spanish flu. That's what the alias is for COVID-19, the Spanish flu. I don't know if y'all saw that video that I did a watch party for, but it was a marketplace over there in Asia, and they had dogs in a cage. Right behind it, they had dogs that they had stripped and cooked, bats, snakes, pigs, rats, cooked. I mean, we ain't talking about any special bred dogs. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about dogs that you would see wandering around your local neighborhood or being walked in the park. You know, these dogs sitting in cages, blood on the ground. I'm not sure how they freaking slaughtered the dog, but, you know, it was just dogs back there chained to the cage. No way they was going to get away from that. No way. It's just bad. I don't know if you all heard when I mentioned when I was in Korea, when I was basically going on patrol, just surveying the area. And I was on a base. We was waiting for a convoy to come out and pick us up after we was finished setting up communication. So I actually went back along this, you know, it wasn't even a path. I just went back into the brush. And I mean, I went back there a good distance. I heard these dogs barking. And once I started going over there to it, I said, man, I got to check this out. Some of these dogs sound sick. They sound crazy. They sound like they in distress. So I go, and, you know, I'm talking about maybe like 300-400 more yards out. I'm really deep in the brush in Korea, right? South Korea. And I come up on this opening a little bit and I see this fence with all these dogs, man. It was like, you know, dogs hanging from a tree, dogs in the yard. Yeah, man, it was some crazy stuff, man. Like, It was really different coming from the city. That's the first time I said, God damn, they do, you know, cook dog. I mean, what is this shit about? So of course I turned around and made it back to where I was at the spot, at the base spot. And I kind of kept it to myself because I'm like, I wondered, was any other Korean soldiers around there? Because it was soldiers walking around that area. Because in South Korea, we do co-op ops, you know what I'm saying? Co-ops sometimes with the allies. So I'm like making it back to base. And I'm like looking around, trying to find out if any other Korean soldiers was around. But yeah, I saw that shit. I saw dogs hanging from trees, man. Dogs barking, distress. You know, I ain't go no farther, man. I turned my ass around and walked. But Greg, what's good? Anything is fair game in China. It's China and Korea, man. It's China and Korea for real. Michael said exactly 100 years ago, the Spanish flu took out millions worldwide. It was coronavirus. Maybe it has was mutated in the lab, then came back. We know a lot of that stuff is freaking homegrown in the lab, man. That's what rats are for. People don't feel sorry for rats because they don't know anything else of them except to be little scurry critters. You know what I'm saying? Rodents. So you can goddamn breed 1 million rats and kill them for experiment or whatever the case. Put diseases in them. No, don't nobody care. Peter don't even care. M. Greg said, I never heard of a stray dog problem in Korea. Nah, because they all on the freaking plate. I'm not gonna lie. I ate some, you know, without knowing it and being told later. It's called chicken on the stick. I have ate some. Like when you get out the club late over in Korea, none of the restaurants are open, right? All the little venues, the little carts are outside on the street. So they have all this meat. And you're like, where the hell did you get a drumstick that freaking big? At the time, once again, being naive, I was like, shit, that's a nice cup of chicken. Like they have a stick with some chicken on it, dipped in this sauce. And you get maybe like 7 to 8 pieces. And it's called, they just call it chicken on the stick, man. And I ain't gonna lie, when I got out the club, I'm talking about we was in Korea some months. I probably ate at least about, you know, 5 or 6 Labrador retrievers. Shit. I probably ate a Doberman Pinscher in that motherfucker, man. Damn. I didn't know any better. Johnny Walker is on deck. And Greg said, I was at Kusan. All right. I was at Taegu. I believe I was at Kusan. Let me see. What was I at? Muchuk, Taegu. And I forgot the other one. He said, I a dog, monkey brain. Oh, I ate dog, monkey brain, living and growing around different Asian cultures. I've had some other stuff now when I went to Thailand. Believe me, I'm just not getting into it right now. But Johnny Walker comes out. I got to get to this fight. Johnny Walker comes out on Koloff. Oh, man, he tries a freaking flying knee. Why is Johnny trying all these acrobats so early, though? He tried to hit that man with 2 flying knees, man. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. He's an exciting fighter. He like high-risk maneuvers like that. But yeah, over in Thailand, man, I was able to eat some of that. You know, I didn't eat any of what you just said. Like, I haven't knowingly ate monkey brain. You know what I'm saying? Well, unknowingly, I did. I know for a fact I ate some dog. And then, you know, they have the octopus. Then they have these all types of fish that you don't know shit about. Have drumsticks the size of your arm. And service member, hey, we up there hungry as hell. Oh yeah, give me that big ass drumstick. Popeyes ain't got shit on this. And then you might not know you eating a goddamn Corsican, the front leg, the front leg of a Corsican. Damn, Koloff, man, he ended up getting a takedown on Walker. This may be pretty good, you know. He's tight on the hips right now with a double leg. Johnny Walker's trying to get up, trying to, you know, work his base to get back to his feet up against the cage. Yeah, in Korea you have bulgogi, which is beef. Yeah, I know I've had some of that, but you really don't know what it is. They say it's beef, and you know, I say it's freaking Yorkie Terrier. You know what I'm saying? I say it's Great Dane. Dang. I hope that wasn't the case, man. I hope that wasn't the case, for real. It did. It tastes good, man. Whatever it was, it tastes good, man. Lewis say after Jorge Masvidal did that flying knee, everyone wants to get off the spectacular KO. Yeah, man, that's what Johnny Walker. And look at him. He's fighting a takedown from Kroloff, who's scooping the legs just like freaking Khabib Nurmagomedov. You know, a lot of wrist fighting going on. Johnny Walker is just, you know, sitting down right now from trying to pull off those high-end, high-risk knees early on in the fight. It's approaching 2 minutes left in the first round. Kroloff is showing that he's freaking a solid wrestler. You know what I'm saying? He's keeping his head in the top chest, in the neck area of Johnny Walker, while he's trying to work to scoot him off the cage. He actually, see, he messed up trying to go for a frontside headlock, and Johnny Walker was able to get up to his feet. Now they just throwing punches. He might have exhausted a lot of energy trying to hold Johnny Walker down. Johnny steps in with a nice jab. Looks a little fatigued, though. His hands are down. Oh, he just caught Johnny Walker with a right hand, another right hand. Oh, good spinning technique by Johnny Walker. He acted like he was walking away and then spun with his damn far hand. Nice spinning technique. Kroloff, seeing that the striking was a little bit much for him, even though he was kind of, you know, he had his solid exchanges, he was able to get the double leg again. So now he's in the closed guard of Johnny Walker. 48 seconds left. Put some seasoning and some Sweet Baby Ray's on that, and especially if you would eat anything. Sounds someone eating fist in the octagon. I can tell you, coming out those clubs in Korea, getting off work too late, you head down to the spot, especially in Seoul, Korea. Man, Seoul, Korea had some food that was very good. And I guarantee you it's probably some of everything up in there, but it tastes good, though. For real, it tastes good. I'm not going to lie. Especially with that rice, the noodles, the sauce they had on it. First round ends, man. Johnny Walker is not looking, he's not looking refreshed. He spent most of that round on his back. Apart from the moment he was able to make it back to his feet, and then he tried to land some punches, which he did. He pushed the jab out there a couple of times, but Kroloff was able to land 2 solid right hands, man, and go in for the takedown and was successful. So of course that round was Kroloff, period, hands down. He was able to get 2 takedowns on Johnny Walker, keep him down, you know, do some light damage. And then once he tried to go for that front side headlock, you know, Johnny Walker was able to stand up, and they had a nice exchange, man, back and forth. Johnny Walker stepped off and did a reverse punch. It landed very nice. Very nice. I don't know what Johnny Walker's trying to do. He need to stay away from the high-end acrobats and just stick to basics, man. He's trying too much. Second round commences. Now Johnny Walker isn't being as reckless. Starts off with a right high kick. Oh, Kroloff hits him with a right high kick and a punch, a straight overhand right. Goes in for the takedown, in recession. Very quick. Right high kick, right hand, and goes in for the damn double leg and gets it. Now Johnny Walker is in the same position he was before. Stir fried. It probably is, man. No telling. I can't sit up here and deny that. You know, if I wasn't there, I think he was trolling. But shoot, in Korea, probably so. If y'all looking at the fight, man, the way Kroloff has the leg of Johnny Walker tied up. Okay, he let it go now. But Johnny Walker just has a body lock from the bottom, which is only controlling the posture of his opponent that's on top. At least he, decided against the closed guard, open up, and now Kroloff is landing some light punches, which are scoring punches. It looked like he's trying to go in for a triangle choke, but he aborts that. Johnny Walker, man, he needs to get off the cage. He needs to get off the cage. Else he's going to go for a second straight loss, man. I mean, he's switching his hips out. He's turning into his opponent. But Kroloff is showing very strong ground game, man. Like his top pressure is respected. Nice hand fighting from Johnny Walker. There you go. Scoot out. He created a little space, but not much. Man, Kroloff is just relentless. He is freaking relentless, man, with the body lock. So right now, what you see, he has Johnny Walker stacked, right? And he had the far side hand. He had the far side hand of Johnny Walker trapped behind his back. And he was punching with his free hand. That's how technical, the ground game has become for those people that know how. He reaches around with his far hand and he tries to grab Johnny Walker's wrist. So once that's the case, he'll pull it back across the back of Johnny Walker. And so he cannot defend or anything with one hand. So he's in half guard right now. So Kroloff is in half guard. What I like about Kroloff being on top, he's landing punches. He's not just laying there. He's staying close to Johnny Walker's chest. He's using his head a lot. He's putting his forehead in the chin of Johnny Walker. He's cross-facing him. He's doing all the dirty tactics to break him down, to wear him down, man. So Johnny Walker's trying to cage walk right now, and he gets the sweep. Wow. Johnny Walker actually cage walk like that it looks so simple, but it rarely happens anymore. I guess because Johnny Walker he's pretty tall. He was able to cage walk. He gets the sweep. Now he's on top. It looked like Kroloff is trying for a leg lock. Johnny better get up out of here. Walker better, if he gets this is a grinding fight, man. 40 seconds left in the second round. What's going on, D. Hodges? Wow, Johnny Walker actually has back control right now. He's able to land some punches. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to win this round with only 20 seconds left. Kroloff seemed like he may be gassing a bit. Oh, Johnny Walker landing some hard shots now he's landing some solid knees. Oh, he's coming back. He's coming back. He may take this round, man. This is exactly what he needed. Exactly what he needed. It might be 1-1 right now, man. Both Kroloff and Walker around a piece. Damn good. Nice return. Nice recovery by Walker. Nice recovery. What? Go. No. Let her out. Johnny Walker's looked fatigued. He looked gassed. Both of them looked the worst for wear, though. They touched gloves, start the third round, 5 minutes. Johnny Walker looks very fatigued. Kroloff rushes in for another double. Didn't quite get it as easy this time. Changes up to a single. Good job by Walker, you know, finding the cage and trying to work from being taken down. He don't need to be. Kroloff gets the takedown, but Johnny Walker is trying for the sweep, and he has a guillotine. He's not locked in yet. That's good shit for him to be able to get that sweep on the takedown. Kroloff is gonna have to get off his back, else he's gonna lose this fight. Both guys are pretty tired right now, so you know they landing light strikes on the ground. I like what I'm seeing from Kroloff. He tried to shrimp out of that. He's turning. Now Johnny Walker is in full mount. So Kroloff automatically bucks out. Nice. He was able to get the sweep. Nice, man. I guess that's fatigue right there. Johnny Walker, he had full mount and couldn't hold it. So once he got full mount, Kroloff was able to buck out of it and sweep him. Now he's in half guard, landing some elbows from the top is Kroloff. Johnny Walker is like, he needs to get up out of this position. He seems extremely tired. Landing some elbows. And what's crazy, right? They have a rule in the UFC, no 12-6 elbows, right? But yet, if you're on your back and your body is positioned 12-6, really, and you raise your hand over your head and land the elbow, it's still the same thing. 12-6 is somewhat characterized in the rule books as if you're upright, as in the 12 on the clock, and you raise your hand above your head and land the elbow at 6 o'clock. But really, if you're on your back, it's the same thing. 3-9 is still 12-6. And Johnny is landing these elbows on the top of the head of Kroloff. I know that has to hurt. Seriously. An elbow to the skull, that shit has to hurt. Two minutes remaining. Like I said, I'm watching the fight on mute. So now Johnny Walker is going for an armbar, but quickly Kroloff sees it, pulls out, postures up. Now he's in side control, landing some punches. Johnny Walker is definitely losing this fight right now. Nice elbows to the thigh by Kroloff. Johnny Walker is in absolute trouble right now. He goes back to close guard. I really don't know why. Not at this point of the fight. You don't need to be closing the guard. There you go. Push the head away, stand up. He had it. Kroloff is staying close, man. He's gloved. He's staying close chest to chest to Walker. And Walker is exhausted, man. He's exhausted. 55 seconds remaining in the last round. The third frame, final round. Solid elbows by Kroloff. He's winning this fight hands down, 2-1. I don't know if Johnny Walker is just that fatigued, but Kroloff is really keeping active from top position, landing some solid body shots, some punches up top to the head with some elbows, some hammer punches, hammer fist, knee to the ribs. Man, he's really working over Walker. This is another loss for Walker. If they give this to freaking Walker, it's bad. It's bad because he got outworked. He got out freaking worked. I don't know what's going on with Johnny Walker right now, but that performance right there, that wasn't his best performance, man. It wasn't his best performance. He's going to have to take that back to the gym. I mean, it's mixed martial arts. You're going to have body-to-body contact. You know, I don't get into all that dry humping stuff. I mean, it's mixed martial arts, just like jiu-jitsu. You have to have a willing participant. Seriously. You have to have someone who's in it. So we wait for the decision. I was kind of hoping. Let me let my dog in. Man, Johnny Walker drops another one. I don't know what's going on. Man, he was once surprising. I mean, a rising prospect, man. I don't know what's going on with that. He drops another one. Man, that's not good. Yeah, I think he couldn't get off his back. For real. I don't think he could get off his back, to be honest, if he wanted to. Like, this is light heavyweights, then some big guys in there. I don't think he could have got off his back. And, you know, it was at one point in time talk of him fighting John Jones. That's all but gone now. He'll never get a chance if he keeps dropping fights like that. He'll never get a chance. I mean, I wouldn't say never, but it'll be a while before he steps in there. He couldn't do much with that weight laying on him. I mean, old boy didn't weigh too much. He wasn't bigger than anybody else. Like, I could see if you had Alexander Gustafsson, Derek Lewis, you know, Open St. Preux, some really big dudes. DC on top of you. Shit, DC is a whole different conversation. His top game is just sick. Even Anthony Rumble Johnson, man, him being on top. But Kroloff, man, he had very good, solid top game, staying close, landing strikes. I mean, I wouldn't give him the Khabib respect, but it's respectable. They talking about Khabib Nurmagomedov and Tony Ferguson coming up. Not tonight, but they coming up for the title shot. That's why I'm like, come on, guy, agree. Man, so the next fight, Johnny Walker is over. Now we have Moicano and Hadžović. Y'all hold on for a second. Moicano, he's from Brazil. Hadžović. I want to see Khabib, Jorge. They're in different weight classes, man. You're not going to see Jorge Masvidal versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. Jorge too big for Khabib. Jorge Masvidal is welterweight right now, 170. Khabib is 155. Well, that fight will never happen because I don't think Khabib is that crazy to move up to freaking welterweight division. He knows he's too small, even though his sambo is high level. I don't think he'll ever want to go up there and see somebody like Kamaru Usman, Jorge Masvidal. It's just too many big fighters up there. Even Kobe Covington. There go Dewey Cooper. Dewey Cooper's in the building. I didn't know he trained KevinLee. Well, in the same camp. Charles Oliveira sporting the light lavender purple hair. What's up with all this hair color? I mean, that must be a fighter type deal. I don't know. I think for the right money and shit talking, someone would gain or drop weight. If the fans demand a catchweight fight, who knows? Dana love to stir the pot. Dana's not gonna promote a catchweight fight. That's one thing he don't do too much of. Name a catchweight. Name a catchweight fight that he even thought about making. Even Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz fought at 170. They didn't even fight at a catchweight. And Conor had won the belt at 145. And he wanted to make the fight, so he told Conor McGregor, you're going to have to go up to 170 and fight Nate Diaz at 170. You know, that's what makes it a little bit legendary and what Conor McGregor was able to do. He beat Jose Aldo at 145. He goes up to 170, loses, and then rematch Nate Diaz at 170, wins, comes back down to 155. That's legendary stuff, and win a title. Dana White wouldn't do that, though. He don't do catch weights and all that. Let's go get to the next fight. It ain't like this a heavy card. What else is in okay. So Rafael Assunção, manager, say he'll wait for Cody Garbrandt after UFC on ESPN 8 withdrawal. So one of the fighters, Rafael Assunção, I actually went down to where he actually trains at. He was waiting for a fight with Cody Garbrandt this month, but due to the COVID-19, I believe that has been, I'm not sure. No, I'm reading that Cody Garbrandt was forced to withdraw from a scheduled clash due to kidney issues. After the news came to light, Garbrandt posted a gruesome image of bloody urine on the social media. The image has been since removed. So Cody Garbrandt posted bloody urine. That's crazy. That is some serious kidney issues if you pissing blood. So Rafael Assunção, man, he's going to wait for Cody Garbrandt, and we shall see them fight in the future. Let me I'm not gonna do it, but I'll just wait. I should text him and say, okay, can I use the pictures in the article now? Because he told me to hold off on the picture. And out of respect, I know what he's talking about. He had a fight coming up, so he said hold off. But I'm gonna have to touch bases with him, see, since the fight is no longer on the calendar, can I use the pics? Man, it's just weird seeing no people out there. DamirHadžović, RenatoMoicano V, DamirHadžović. Damir looked like he's an ex. Could be dangerous for Renato. Lightweight action. So, of course, this is going to be contended at the 155-pound division, y'all. Lightweight action. He starts off Hadžović with a low calf kick, came up the middle with a front kick. Clinch already from Moicano, takes him down to the ground easily. Moicano takes him down with just a body lock. Oh, man, how did he let him transition behind like that so quickly? And he has the body triangle on him. Moicano is trying to then close the night early. Oh, it's under the neck. Deep choke, RNC. He taps already. Wow. That wasn't even a minute, and he's talking to him too. He chokes him out in less than a minute. They up here arguing in the cage. He chokes him out in less than a minute. Damn. Woo. That's what you call getting smoke checked. Man, that was a good fight for Moicano, man. I mean, it wasn't even much of a fight, but he showed how good his ground game is. Because if you weren't paying attention, once he took the back, the body triangle was on there. It was a wrap. First the chin was in there, and he slid the arm beneath the chin, and the choke was tight. The choke was tight. Damn. You get choked out in less than a minute. You just don't see that in combat sports too often. But you got to respect the fight game, man. You got to respect these mixed martial artists. The training that they go through. I mean, it's just rigged, man. It's rugged, man. It's nothing to play with. Just looking at the way they train, man, is tiring. Let me cut this light off. Cut this light on, man. Said go to sleep like a boar. The boar was putting him to sleep. Khabib Nurmagomedov, lightweight champion. He will defend his belt against Tony Ferguson, man. April 18th, Saturday, on ESPN Plus. We're unsure what will be the status of the COVID-19, but you can rest assured that combat sports is still going on as we know it this weekend. "44 seconds he choked this guy out. Moicano. He said he loved his wife. Oh, because she's pregnant. Carry his kid. Isaac, his son, his kid's name is Isaac. Paul Felder. He just called up Paul Felder, who just lost to Dan Hooker. Why would you call out Paul Felder though? He just lost. Oh, he might not be thinking clearly. I don't know. You trying to call out a man that just lost a tough decision, which some people thought he won, some people thought he didn't. But for you to call that man out and he just lost. Oh, Tyrone Woodley is heading back to the cage. So he's fighting Leon Edwards, I believe. Of course, Tyrone Woodley is basically heading back, returning to the cage after losing his title to Kamaru Usman. He was considered one of the best welterweights. You know what I'm saying? When he had the belt, because he defended it 4 times. He went in there against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson twice, DemianMaia once, and then knocked out Darren Till in the second round. He really needs to get past Leon Edwards to get back in title contention. I mean, one thing about Leon Edwards, I could say he's very surgical, man. He is surgical. People not giving him too much respect right now because he's fairly unknown. You know what I'm saying? Some hardcore MMA fans would know him, of course. But if they know Leon Edwards, they know Tyrone Woodley. So that's what it boils down to. Tyron Woodley is ranked 13th pound for pound fight in the world. So this card consists of March 21st, Tyron Woodley versus Leon Edwards is the main event. Then you have Danny Roberts, Nicholas Dalby, Jack Marshman against Kevin Holland, Darren Stewart, Marvin Bellateri, middleweight, Jack Shore against Geraldo de Freitas, bantamweight. It's an all right card. It's all right. DemianMaia is next. Should be very exciting. He's in his hometown, both fighters, GilbertBurns and DemianMaia. So this should be fairly exciting bout. While they in commercial, I think I mentioned the other day with Marie Dakari facing Carissa Shields. Carissa Shields 10-0, 2 knockouts, and Dakari, she's sitting at 17 victories, 0 defeats, and 0 knockouts. And what's epic and historic about this fight between these two women is the fact that it's going to be contended at junior middleweight for the unified titles. Unified being Carissa Shields, the WBC, WBO, and then Dakari is a current IBF champion, and also the WBA is going to break their code of ethics. You know what I'm saying? And offer a WBA belt that hasn't been done in 99 years. 99 years, y'all. They're going to offer up the WBA belt that hasn't been presented in 99 years. And that division is crazy. It's crazy, man. Why is that the case? So whoever wins get the entire slate of titles. That's wild. That's wild. What else? What else is popping? I see Progress is talking about Maurice Hooker. He's basically on Boxing Scene saying that I think he's a little bit too confident because Progress and Hooker is scheduled to fight, right? And Progress said, I think he's a little bit too confident. I look at him going into the fight, and sometimes when you're in your hometown, that can be the worst thing because your nerves can get to you. Everybody he has ever known is at this fight. It's just a lot of pressure on you. I think he had a lot of pressure on himself when he fought here. Ramirez didn't have no pressure at all. He just had to fight. And if that's the case, I'm pretty sure a lot of fighters go through that pressure point of fighting in their hometown, but Ramirez stopped him. You know, Ramirez stopped Maurice Hooker. And before the fight was even stopped, Ramirez was ahead on the scorecards, 49-45, 48-46, and one had it even, 47-47, when he caught Hooker with the left hook. Progress goes on to say and say, I was at the fight. It was going back and forth. He just got caught. That's the main thing. Sometimes that happened. But it was going back and forth, and he was catching Ramirez with stuff. and it was a great fight. Prograis go on to say he is confident he'll knock out Hooker as well, particularly if Hooker is as unsettled as Prograis sensed when he entered the ring to fight Ramirez. I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if Regis Prograis is going to go in there and stop. I know he stopped Julio Sindongo. I get it, but Maurice Hooker, man, I think he, if anything, learned a valuable lesson. And I'm pretty sure they are taking a lot from the fight that Rogers had with Josh Taylor. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure they took a lot from that fight. This fight is going to be on the zone. 12 rounds. Progress is 24-1, 20 knockouts. And Hook is 27-1 and 3, 18 knockouts. This will be going down next month at the MGM Grand Harbor, just outside Washington, D.C. And, of course, they mentioned Prograis is trying to bounce back from his loss against Josh Taylor. Yeah, that's all I need to talk about with that. It's an article in here, since this is the MMA hour. Eddie Hearns is saying basically if he enters the MMA game, he has to come in gun blazing. And I can take this with a grain of doo-doo. You know what I'm saying? That's what I take that as. Period. I'm not really putting too much emphasis in Eddie Hearns. He hasn't even really got a lock on boxing yet, to the point where he's just selling above the stars, man. He's really putting on some great fights with some top names. So unless he does a co-op with Dana White, that's the only thing I'm seeing. It'll be easier for Dana White to enter boxing than it would be for Eddie Hearns to enter MMA. Believe that. Believe that. He said, yeah, I think so. A lot of people are asking me to do it, whether it's broadcasters or other organizations who want to grow and rival the UFC, Hearns told. It's very difficult to rival the UFC. You damn straight it is. But I'm going to do it. I've got to do it. It's all guns blazing. I don't want to be number two. Being number one is the space, is that in that space is very difficult. So let me crack boxing first, and then we'll see. Good luck with that, bro. Good luck with that, Eddie Hearns, trying to, rival the UFC and think you're going to crack. Man, the UFC sold the brand for $4 billion. It's been a long time since they bought that company for $2 million. It's been a rise unlike any other. So for Eddie Hearns to believe he's going to be able to rival a company that was a part of transcending the sport as we know it, good luck with that. Because yeah, of course they was fighting over in Japan, but of course I'm talking here, the UFC here in the United States. They was very, very much responsible. Putting on the first UFC fight card, man. All the fights was catch weights, led by the Gracies, Horace Gracie. He said, I do like MMA. I'm not a fan. I'm not an MMA fan, but I'm an admirer of what they've done and how tough it is. I like the way that they stayed on the feet more now. Before it used to be a lot more grappling and wrestling, a fight on their feet. I'm a casual fan of MMA. You got that right. I could probably name you half a dozen fighters, and I'll tune in for the big fights. And that's where he's going to lose a little bit of support from fighters who will reach out and try to say, yeah, we want you to start up mixed martial arts. You have to know what the fight is worth, and you have to understand what the sport is worth. If you don't understand that, you're going to be underpaying these dudes, you know, or overpaying them one. So the fight between DemianMaia and GilbertBurns is on deck, man. This is going to be good. Both of their foundations is BJJ. I mean, seriously. These are high levels, so they may cancel out one another and just stand up striking, but I seriously doubt it. I don't know, Damian. I don't know. You know, the backpack has been around. He's been strapped to a lot of backs with that choke. I don't know if he has what it takes to sit up here and unseat GilbertBurns, man. I just don't think he has it. First round starts. Just posture and feint from both. Burns thought about a kick, changed his mind. You know, just trying to get a reaction. Low calf kick on the inside by Burns. Nice straight left hand by Maia. Man, body kick by Burns. Maia had to feel that. He returns with a two-punch combination. It didn't land, though. Light on his feet is Burns early. Up against the cage where DemianMaia likes it. He's just, you know, pressuring, and then he's gonna go in for the body lock. Burns is moving good thus far. He's moving pretty good so far. There it goes. Maia goes in for the takedown, gets it. Now we go to the jiu-jitsu of both guys. He automatically attempts to go for a sub on DemianMaia. Now he goes to the leg, gets back up. Nice. He works his way back up to his feet. Believe me, people, that wasn't as easy as it sounded. DemianMaia had him deep, but you're talking about two elite jiu-jitsu guys. Now Burns is on one knee while DemianMaia has partial back control, you know, standing up. But still, DemianMaia anywhere close to the back is dangerous. Very, very dangerous. He's trying to scoop out the outside leg of Burns and sit him down so he can better work top position. Oh, man. Now he has total back control. I want to say Burns is in trouble, but he's not so far. You know, a lot of hand fighting. DemianMaia does have his back, though. And it's 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in the first. DemianMaia is not the person. Now Damian tried to rolls out. Oh, nice. He came out the back door. Damian tried to roll over for full mount, and Burns slid out the back door and made it back to his feet. Oh, a left hand. He drops DemianMaia and just stand there. Wow, fight is over. Burns knocks DemianMaia out with a right hand, and Maia's just laying there, and the ref did not do anything. And Burns like, you gonna stop the fight? And then he goes in and hit him with like 10 other rabbit punches. Let me check this out again. Yeah, it was a short, crisp left hook. Very, very sharp left hook, man. Dominating performance by Burns. What I tell you about these jiu-jitsu guys, it usually comes down to the feet. Stand-up game. Man, good fight. Short, quick. DemianMaia, man, how long are you gonna fight? That young hitter right there, man, earned a well-earned victory. Very solid. I mean, that left hook was nice. That shit was fresh off the clock. Ding! Damn, DBMA. You know, that's a YouTube thing. I'm not sure why, man. I'm not sure why. You know, that's like sometimes Facebook is like, I mean, not Facebook, YouTube is like that. I just don't know why. Hey, William, let's talk about that last time. Man. I didn't get a chance early about the Muhammad Ali deal, right? So you found out, I told you to check Muhammad Ali, right? About that fight he had with Leon Spinks, right? So, you know, what was the last thing you told me about that fight? What was the last thing you told me about Leon Spinks? Okay, so William say that Leon get a fight with 7-0, right? Look, that's one of my points I'm trying to make, right? So we look at how old Muhammad Ali was right then, right? When he gave Leon that fight. Leon was 7-0. A lot of people's not gonna believe it, but I can care less because I talked to, you know, I found this out, you know, just doing scrubs and searches and all that. Talking to some of the individuals that was back there. So Leon gets a fight with Muhammad Ali, man, on the back end of his career. Ali was on the back end of his career. And he gets a fight as a champion where Leon Spinks is 7-0. 7-0. So that was the fight where Muhammad Ali allowed Leon Spinks to become world champion. It happens in boxing. Muhammad Ali allowed Leon Spinks to become world champion, and the plan was to get his belt back in the rematch so he could be how many times world champion? How many times world champion? When he won his title back, that made him what? So we know Muhammad Ali was 3-time heavyweight champion, right? That was the agreement between him and Leon Spinks in boxing back then. He gave Leon, a 7-0 fighter, an opportunity to win a belt and for him himself to add another notch to his boxing career. I know a lot of people don't want to talk about it or may not know about it, but it's fact. It's fact. If you look at all the other fights after that, look at the fights after that. There's no way Muhammad Ali wins his title back and then goes on a losing streak. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was damn near the same fighter that stepped in there with Leon Spinks for the rematch. I mean, you know the deal, you know, that happened after that. We know who he went in there and faced. And that's a freaking fact. Muhammad Ali had women waiting in the room for him. He didn't even train for that freaking fight, you know, when he lost. You know, that was the plan. Yeah, the Larry Holmes fight, that's a big example on how bad Muhammad Ali looked and how far outside of his career he was still fighting. A lot of people was upset about that fight. That's why Muhammad Ali told Mike Tyson to go in there and destroy Larry Holmes. You know what I'm saying? Muhammad Ali said, go knock his ass out, man. You saw what he did. He did me dirty. He knew I was past my prime. He knew I was freaking on the back end of my career, on the pre-stages of pugilistica. He know that. You know, he only had two. Look, if this was in 1978, it wasn't too much changing after that for the better. So when he stepped in there against Larry Holmes and Trevor Berbick, he was already done. He was already done. There's no way that he should have went in there and defeated Leon Spinks again. Leon Spinks could have very well defeated Muhammad Ali and kept his belt and went on to fight somebody else for a nice paycheck. But the agreement was what it was. And Muhammad Ali went back and, you know, won via unanimous decision. Just think about that. Look at all the other fighters leading up to that fight with Leon Spinks. And he gave him a fight at 7-0. 7-0. Come on, man. I don't know why Larry Holmes did that, man. Who knows? Like, once again, I tell people, I say, these are fighters. It's a lot of freaking personal shit that happens in these gyms. It's a lot of physical, you know, stuff that goes on with these fighters that we just don't know the depth of unless you're a fighter or you're a qualified physician, psychologist. But, man, the relationship they had early on, I truly don't know why Larry Holmes did it. The name on his resume, I truly don't know why he did what he did. But we all know Muhammad Ali shouldn't have been in there with Larry Holmes. We know that. Anybody who follow boxing knows that. Larry Holmes, one of the best jabs in the sport. Larry Holmes is well deserved to be in the Hall of Fame, though. I mean, the man had over 70 fights, man. Boxing was crazy. Crazy, man. Fought Muhammad Ali, stoppage. You know, before that, he had, you know, fought Ernie Shavers, Ken Norton, you know, Ernie Shavers again. Leon Spinks. And he even got Ronaldo Snipes on his record. He got Ronaldo Snipes on his record. Jerry Cooney. You know, you remember that fight, Jerry Cooney via TKO. Tim Witherspoon. Randall Cobb. Marvis Frazier. James Smith. TKO stoppage. Damn. James Bone Crusher Smith. He fought Mike Tyson early on. He the first to go the distance, but damn, you know, he got them he had a lot of people on his record, but he had a lot of, you know, he had many losses with top names. Bone Crusher. Absolutely. Absolutely. Back to Larry Holmes. Call the Truth Williams. Michael Spinks twice. He lost to Michael Spinks twice. Ray Mercer, unanimous decision. Evander Holyfield lost. Remember that fight. Jesse Ferguson, Oliver McCall. You know, he lost to Oliver McCall. Damn. Yeah, William say he was already having problems talking before then. Yeah, man. I mean, that's the part of boxing, man, the dark side that really treats these boxers real dirty. Like no retirement plan, none of that. And people only look at what a fighter's made, but then check it out. You know, you have to understand that healthcare. You know, you gotta think about healthcare with these fighters too. That's who Tyson Fury reminds me of, Jerry Cooney. Hey, Charles Oliveira, the main event is on deck already. This is going to be a good fight. This is going to be a tough one for both fighters. Seriously. For Charles Oliveira and Kevin Lee. The main event is on deck. This is going to be a tough fight for both of these guys. Oliveira is in his home country, Brazil. Brazil. Yeah, Larry Holmes did have a hell of a chin. Yeah, Larry Holmes, man, he took some punches. You like, damn. He did. I'm surprised, you know, a lot of heavyweights don't look at how he moved, man, how he was able to use that jab effectively, how he boxed. Out of all his losses, like his 6 losses, man, he only been stopped once. And we all know who did that. Iron Mike. The main event is on deck for the UFC Fight Night, people. Kevin Lee versus Charles Oliveira. Kevin Lee really needs to keep his win streak alive. I'm pretty sure Charles Oliveira is thinking the same thing. Like, I need to keep my win streak alive too. I need to get on a win streak. Cage walk for Kevin Lee. I was cheering for Mike Tyson on to knock out Larry Holmes. Yeah, a lot of us was, man. Especially, you know, the way he did Muhammad Ali dirty like that. Kevin Lee looking tense. We'll see if it carry over into the cage. Dewey Cooper, well-renowned Dewey Cooper. He actually did a part on the glove situation with Fury. He actually said it was a great possibility it could be done, you know, with him cheating. He thought it was a lot to it. You know what I'm saying? With him wearing the glove a little different. And he don't really have no skin in the game, you know, no reason to sit up here and go against the grain in his position. But he just felt with all the evidence, I mean, he basically put on some gloves. He did everything. And he was like, no, for a glove to flap like that, something has to be wrong. So Kevin Lee had the second most wins in UFC lightweight history, second most finishes in lightweight history. So this is going to be good. He eyeballing the shit out of freaking Charles Oliveira. I mean, I don't know why you got to be that intense, man. I always say, you know, the calmer you are to the storm, you just allow them to be presented with what you possess in the first place. You don't really have to show it on the outside. So Kevin Lee 27, Oliveira 30. The reach, Kevin Lee 77 inches versus 74. All right. As you know, Kevin Lee, he missed weight. You know, I don't know what's going on with that, but he missed weight. He weighed in 158 outside of a limit of 155, man. Oliveira looks calm, stoic, and ready for the battle. Kevin Lee is thumping the freaking cage floor, you know, hyped up. I can't say he hasn't been here before because Kevin Lee's been here before. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure why he's so hyped up. And he is that veteran. He's been here before, man. You know what I'm saying? He's been here. So another thing to note for those of you that's tuned in is that the referee, Prime Marine, shout out, Simplify, hoorah. He has his legendary bilateral beard that he usually have hanging down by his shirt. That's not the case right now. Why? Because COVID-19, y'all. He tucked that in, rubber banded and tucked it in. Because we know that beards and everything attract a lot of germs and particles. But if you look at it today, it is indeed not hanging down in front of him like it usually is. Kevin Lee looks upset. Yeah, he did lose some close fights, man. But, you know, he said there was some things going on personally, you know, with his camp and everything. So his last fight, he looked impressive now. He beat a guy that a lot of people weren't expecting him to beat. We'll see what's popping. Charles Oliveira said, come on, man, touch gloves. Be nice. See, that's the you know, thing about Cuban fighters and Brazilian fighters. They just maintain this composure. You know, you don't see all of them all hyped up like Kevin Lee right now. Because they know what they possess. They know how deadly they are. He thought about it. Oliveira thought about throwing that knee. See? Well, he threw that kick early on Kevin Lee. Fighting really tall. There it is. He didn't land it, though. I like the movement from Oliveira. Calf kick, outside calf kick. Looking very sharp early on, man. Look at that knee. He's fighting real tall right now. Very tall. He has Kevin Lee on the back foot already, and the fight just started. Nice straight left by Oliveira. Kevin Lee is like frozen right now. Straight right hand landed, though. Nice low calf kick on the outside by Oliveira. Solid. That kick up the middle, man. If it lands, it's gonna stun Kevin. Now Kevin's settling in on the pocket. He better be careful. Oliveira is very sneaky on the inside. Shot to the body by Lee. Nice straight right. Double jab. I like that. Oliveira goes in for the takedown because he was feeling it. Kevin Lee is pretty decent on the ground. Transition, very nice. This is Oliveira's world right here. So he's definitely going to try to go for a heel hook right here, I think. Kevin Lee is going to have to be very careful. So far, he's doing fairly well. He's still in trouble, though. He's trying to work for a triangle. Kevin Lee's trying to posture up. Oliveira's going for the sweep, didn't get it. Nice transition, nice scramble by Lee. Nice. But Oliveira is dangerous on the ground, man. You see how he keeps wrapping that leg up? Now he's offering the back with his leg trap. Why would Kevin Lee do that? Why would he do that? Why would he do that? I know what he was trying to do. He was trying to escape, but Oliveira is so crafty on the back. His leg didn't come out. Nice transition by Lee. Almost a full mount. Look at the ground game. Look at the jiu-jitsu, the consistency from Oliveira. Always has a limb, man. Always. Kevin Lee is trying his best to maintain some discipline. He's still going for that heel hook. Lee is trying. Lee is trying. He's not going to make that mistake again by giving up his back to Oliveira. His leg, his left leg is still in an awkward position, though. It's been it's extremely awkward right now. Look at that. Look at Kevin Lee's left leg. That has to be hurting him. Look at the technical. Look at the web that Oliveira is weaving with his leg. It's almost like he has like a calf crusher semi, but it wasn't. He gets out. Now he's in the closed guard, which isn't like a free space to park your body with Oliveira. Throwing up the legs, trying to go for an armbar triangle. Good escape by Lee. Nice sweep. Now Lee goes to a body triangle, but it's low on the legs. It's low on the legs right now. Kevin Lee he has a minute left. Nice sweep. Nice sweep by Lee. Posture up. He don't want to get caught. It's still 50 seconds. He don't want to get caught in a triangle. Nice. Now, one thing in the past has been known for Oliveira, if he's unable to get a submission, he's been known to just kind of lose it, and run out of plans. The A, B, and C, he just runs out of alternatives. So Kevin Lee jumps back into the jiu-jitsu world of Oliveira because basically he's pretty confident. It's not like it's not like Lee doesn't have jiu-jitsu of his own. That's why he's willing to play in this world. It's not like he doesn't have jiu-jitsu of his own either. Nice heavy elbows by Lee. Remember what I said about Oliveira? If he isn't successful with the subs early, he sometimes degrade from there. Like he'll just go away. We'll see how the second round comes out. Man, that was a nice technical ground game, man. There's a lot of education in that. Damn. I'm telling you, jiu-jitsu is it's a beautiful art, man. It's so much you have to learn, and the only way you can do it is mat time. You have to be in there with the partner, and you have to learn the sport. It's no online training for jiu-jitsu. You ain't gonna goddamn get a black belt in jiu-jitsu online, goddammit, and go to a school and say, I'm a black belt. I want to know, could I teach? And they're gonna ask you, okay, who's your teacher? Who's your professor, man? Round number 2 on deck. This is round number 2 out of 5. So again, Lee starts the round using the outside perimeter. Oliveira is controlling the center, so to speak. Nice overhand right by Lee. Oliveira's striking is solid. Oh, nice reverse kick, man. Nice. Lands on Lee. Shoots an uppercut, barely misses. Lee better watch out for that. Nice Nice left hook by Lee. There it is. Both of them exchanging, man. They land some solid strikes. Solid strikes right now. Man, overhand right by Lee. Man, Oliveira just walks through it. Straight left by Oliveira. Man, came with the right. He's shooting that uppercut up the middle too on Lee. He's giving Lee the business right now, man. Lee's going to have to he has to create space, man. He has to really find something else. Go in, go in the clinch. He's getting lit up right now. Another uppercut by Oliveira. Lee is getting lit up right now by Oliveira's hands. Looking very solid. Look at the facial expression of Oliveira. Nothing. He know what the mission is. Oh, he finally lands that damn up kick too. KevinLee is landing some shots, but they have no effect on Oliveira right now. Nice sneaky right hand. Oliveira comes back with his right. Lee goes in for the takedown because he's absolutely getting lit up on the feet. So automatically, Oliveira goes for an arm bar. It might be over. This is going for omoplata. Oh, slick. Straight to a triangle transition. Oh, KevinLee comes, gets out of it. Nice. Pushes the legs away. Fight the hips. He has a body lock. He's trying to turn the corner. Does. This is where he's having success on the ground. Going on 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. This is what KevinLee needs to do his damage. Because I'm telling you, Oliveira just worked him in the first part of that fight. Worked him on the feet. This is where they kind of, equal, even each other out. Shoulder strikes by Lee. But, KevinLee is not doing as much damage as Oliveira was doing on the feet. You know what I'm saying? He's not doing as much damage. But it's good he got the takedown, though. Well, a minute 40, I still think he's behind in this round. So we see what Lee is trying to work, if he's trying to advance his position to side control or what. Shot of elbow. Not much damage from that. It's a lot of education in what you're seeing right here, for real. Especially how Oliveira is controlling KevinLee on the top, controlling his posture, everything. He's not taking much damage being on the bottom. A minute left in the second frame. Lee is now putting his forehead, he's trying to distract him with the forehead for punches. Nice short elbows. So now KevinLee is going for the high risk remover. He's see what I'm talking about? He was trying to go and advance his position, but Oliveira bucked him off and went straight for a leg. Yeah, Oliveira had the better strikes for sure. Yeah, man. Tight on his feet. I like what KevinLee is doing. He's tying up the legs, stacking them, and leaning in, trying to land some punches. He has to be very cautious about the up kicks of Oliveira too. I don't know, man. I still think Oliveira may have, maybe 1-1. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if KevinLee did enough to win that round back. I'm impressed with Oliveira's hands, though, and feet. Stand-up game is on freaking point. If KevinLee comes out for the third round, the same way, fighting off his back foot for the first minute, he may get stopped. He may get stopped. It depends on how much Oliveira has in the gas tank. But he was just having too much success on the feet. Look how he's shooting that uppercut. He's not even really moving. And then he kicks him in the chin, man. He's not even really rotating his hip. He don't have to do anything extra to land these shots, man. That's how easy Kevin is standing in front of him right on line. Round 3 is on deck. Round 3 of 5. He comes out with a flying knee, of course, you know, the set the pace. And KevinLee is taking the center. Good. Oh, he tries the high kick. Now, you know, Kevin seems like he's pressing the gas a little bit. Let's see how long it lasts. Wild looping punches. He goes in but for the takedown again. He's stuck in the guillotine. It's tight. It's tight. It's tight. Oh, he taps him out. Lee taps and try to act like. Oh, man, Oliveira taps out KevinLee. Had him deep in the guillotine, man. And that's the wrong person you want to be in that choke. God damn. You did tap. That's a good win by Oliveira. I ain't gonna lie. That was a nice, man, his jiu-jitsu game is nasty. He tried to go for a single leg instead of double, man. Put his head in too deep. Takes him down. He had him tight in a choke. He tapped. What are you doing? You was hoping the ref wasn't over there? I mean, what are you doing, Kevin? You trying to play games? You was hoping the referee wasn't on that side? Come on, bro. You tapped. Oliveira is like telling him, like, hey, man, don't worry about it, man. Just keep on fighting. Just keep on fighting, man. Oliveira's, man, I'm telling you, that's a dangerous fighter right there, man. That's what I tell people. Put your kids in jiu-jitsu and wrestling. Every time KevinLee wanted to damn exit, he had a limb. He had a leg. On his feet, he was freaking punching Kevin with the left or right, anything he wanted, shooting the uppercut when he felt like it, kicking him straight up the middle, anything he wanted to do, man. Solid fight, man. Solid win by Oliveira, though. Solid win. Kevin need to go back to the drawing board, man, and come back. It's been 7 fights since he lost. Wow. I remember who was the one that defeated Charles Oliveira? I mean, everybody want Khabib. So the longest finishing streak, Charles Oliveira is at 7, Anderson Silva is at 8. That'll be a good fight between him and Tony Ferguson. Both of them, you know, are pretty awkward on their feet, and the jiu-jitsu game is high level. That'll be a good fight between them. Of course, Tony Ferguson is set to face the champ Khabib. That was nice, man. It was inevitable. Lee lost confidence in the strikes, Dan himself, only for a moment. Yeah, I thought it would be Oliveira who breaks down, but it wasn't. Seriously, I thought it would be Oliveira, but it wasn't, man. He looks sharp. I ain't gonna lie. You know, Oliveira looks sharp, especially on the ground off his back. That dude is a lethal freaking assassin, man. Off his back, on his feet. And he's ranked freaking 13th before this fight. I know he had some losses. Let me check something right quick. He must have been fighting under the radar because I could have sworn he had some losses. Damn, he gave KevinLee the business. Good Lord, man. He gave KevinLee the business tonight. Gave him the absolute business. Let me check out his record. Okay, damn. He's been putting in some work. He's been under the radar. No wonder he defeated Clay Guida. And then a couple of, he fought Jim Miller. That's why he's been fighting on the lower tier cards. Nick Lentz, Jared Gordon. That's why. That's why. Because the last fight was November on the undercard. And then he went to a grappling bout and won that in January this year. And he went into this fight. That's why he's been flying under the radar, man. It's just like sometimes boxers going over to Mexico getting some wins. You know, he's been flying under the radar. Good stuff. The Lee definitely performed better in this last fight, though. Yeah, he has losses, but I was wondering when the last time he lost. I remember he had lost, and Paul Felder stopped him in 2 rounds. That's what I was looking at. I remember Paul Felder stopping him in round 2. And before that, he lost to Anthony Pettis and Ricardo Lamas. But damn, the man is on a freaking 8-fight win streak right now. Damn. He defeated the fighter who's in the top 10, KevinLee. Real talk. So he takes KevinLee's spot. You know, it's supposed to happen that way. You defeat the man and take his slot, so to speak. Damn. That's wild right there. So right now in the lightweight division, KevinLee was ranked number 8. And Oliveira was 13. So what's interesting is now that Oliveira has beaten KevinLee, Paul Felder is coming off a loss against Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker defeated Paul Felder. He sits at number 5. So the only common opponent that would be beneficial to Oliveira to continue his rise up the ranks would be either Paul Felder or Cowboy Cerrone. Or Dan Hooker would be a nice one. Dan Hooker is actually trying to fight. Dan Hooker is trying to fight. Is it Dustin Poirier next? Is it Dustin Poirier? Because I know Justin Gaethje. I have to find out. But the only common sense opponent for Charles Oliveira that makes sense would be Dan Hooker. I think Justin Gaethje has a fight coming up, though. That'll be a solid fight between him and Dan Hooker, though. Dan Hooker's coming off a solid victory over Paul Felder. I mean, damn, he had Paul Felder swole. Justin Showtime Gaethje, where you at? Where you at? I mean, Justin highlight Gaethje. He's Showtime too. Gaethje only has 2 losses to Eddie Alvarez and freaking Dustin Poirier. But let me see. They don't have a next opponent for Justin Gaethje. That's weird. So that would be a good fight for Charles Oliveira. But Justin Gaethje is trying to get a title shot, though. And of course, Conor McGregor is out there. I don't think Dustin Poirier, who's ranked above Conor McGregor, I don't think Dana White is going to match them up, because Conor McGregor did defeat Dustin Poirier early in his career. He did. That'd be a pretty good fight for them to run it back. Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier. But Charles Oliveira either, fighting Justin Gaethje, Dan Hooker's in the mix. I doubt Dana White to put Dan Hooker up there with Conor McGregor. It's not just I mean, even though he's on the run right now, I don't see how they'll sell tickets. Justin Gaethje, Conor McGregor, absolutely. But I think Conor McGregor, if I'm not mistaken, who is he set to fight next? The notorious Conor McGregor. Okay, Conor McGregor, who you set to face next? Is it even scheduled? Nope. Just his last fight, Cowboy Cerrone. So I don't know, man. I really can't say who, because I know Paul Felder, I don't think he's going to take a fight with Oliveira coming off that loss to Dan Hooker. And Cowboy Cerrone, it will make no sense for him to step in against Oliveira after taking the loss in the freaking first round against Conor McGregor. So the only thing I can say is Dan Hooker versus Charles Oliveira, who sits at number 5. That's all I can say on that. Don Dollar, what's good, man? That is always my beef with combat sports. Losing a fight, just one fight, can be different of you fighting for thousands and millions just cause you're not in the spotlight. In boxing, for sure. But in mixed martial arts, there's fighters who have several losses and they can still get a big fight. You know what I'm saying? They can still get a big fight. They just have to have a name. Look at Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz has a plethora of losses. Cowboy Cerrone has a lot of losses. There's so many fighters that have a gang load of losses, man, in mixed martial arts. The division between mixed martial arts and boxing for the amount of losses, if you take a boxer with double-digit losses, no way would they be even close to fighting, for big tags. Eight fights strike now. Dog walking KevinLee again. I'm in that division. I'm definitely studying film. Yeah. Somebody better study because Charles Oliveira is no joke. MMA is more forgiving. Yeah, MMA, they would take a fighter who has several dozen losses, man, and they would keep on freaking feeding them fights. Cowboy Cerrone right now, I believe, has 14 losses. Nate Diaz, he has over 10 losses. Who else? I think Dennis Silver, he's freaking done already. But yeah. But that's all I got, people. I've been on here quite a lot today. Don Dollar say, do you think T-Bud Crawford could do 5 rounds with Conor in a cage? Don Dollar. The answer to that is hell no. You know what I'm saying? Hell no. Hell no. Hell to the no, no, no. Oh no. Hell to the no, no, no. Man, Crawford's not going to do 5 rounds with Conor in the cage unless it's specified rules. You know what I'm saying? Conor McGregor has power, okay? Of course, I'm looking at the fact that you said in the cage. So I extract the 8-pound, 8 ounces. What's about 8 pounds? I extract the 8-ounce gloves and put them down to 4-ounce gloves, right? So who does that benefit? You say, well, it might benefit Crawford because he's used to wearing heavier gloves. Okay. And then Conor, he's used to wearing 4-ounce gloves. But in the cage, Conor does have power in how to land his strikes with 4-ounce gloves on. You know what I'm saying? He is an underrated striker on the feet, Conor McGregor. Seriously, he has power. Real talk. He's fought at a higher weight class than Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford's highest weight class is 147. Conor McGregor's high weight class has been 170, welterweight. So he's felt the punches, from welterweight division. He just closed out freaking Cowboy Cerrone at 170. So he's fought heavier guys. But I don't think Bud will have a lot of success, especially if it's just open rules. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think he'll do it. Now, a lot of people, continue to talk about Carissa Shields coming on here fighting Amanda Nunes, and that's the same thing. Like Amanda Serrano and Heather Hardy both cross-thread mixed martial arts and boxing. It's not like it haven't been done before. But for Carissa Shields, her martial arts game is like non-existent. She has a lot of work to do with her BJJ, her Muay Thai, all of that. So if she was to come over here against a champion, a champion like Amanda Nunes, it'll be all bad. But then again, you say, okay, if Amanda Nunes goes over to the boxing ring, being that she's faced elbows, kicks, and punches with 4-ounce gloves, guess what? She's used to knowing how to work herself around the cage in 5-minute rounds. So for her to transition over to 2-minute rounds, man, that's going to be easier than what people think. Now, of course, if, Carissa Shields takes her in the deep water, that'll be a whole nother story. That'd be a whole nother story. But do I think she can beat Carissa Shields at boxing? No. Do I believe Shields can beat Amanda Nunes in the cage? No. Michael said Bud would kill Conor. Like I said, it's according to the rules, man. Bud wouldn't kill Conor McGregor. How? The question was in the cage. I didn't hear any specifics to that. Do you think T-Bud Crawford could go 5 rounds with Conor in the cage? Now, you tell me what's missing. You tell me what's missing. I don't need a Dragamon, but you tell me what's missing. He said 5 rounds, open, clear. Go through the cage. All the rules apply. Let's go. Man, Conor will destroy Bud Crawford. Because the first thing he's going to do, being Conor McGregor, he's going to land kicks. And knowing Conor's ego, he's going to want to try to knock Bud out, You know what I'm saying? With his left hand. He's going to try to knock him out at his game of boxing. But it's not going to be right off the bat. That's Conor's ego. Conor will wrestle the fuck out of him. Yeah. Michael, you kind of all over the place. You said once Bud would kill Conor, and then you say Conor would wrestle. Hey, Conor has pretty underrated hands too. If you're talking about 4-ounce gloves and being able to move around in the cage, and Bud Crawford has to like understand that there's more levels to the threat now. You know, Conor McGregor can go in for the takedown. You know what I'm saying? He can land kicks. So I'm just going off what the question said. Striking wise, T-Bud has the hands, and I don't know if he can train to defend those kicks. Man, if y'all think a boxer without the competitive time like Holly Holmes did, if you take that, Holly Holmes being a multi-time world champion, and as much time as she spent competing and training mixed martial arts for her to have success, do you think it's just going to be automatic for somebody that's in their 30s? Like, never really trained mixed martial arts? It's going to be very, very tough. It's not like Bud Crawford can't be dropped. We seen freaking Kavaliauskas come in there and drop him in the 3rd round. Well, guess what? Conor McGregor can crack too. Seriously. He can crack too, man. And he has a chin. Let's not forget that. Conor McGregor has a chin. Khabib Nurmagomedov dropped him, but still he was aware. He was vigilant enough to, you know, hey, I just got hit with a nice one, overhand, and let me still focus on the threat. Michael said, I meant kill him in the ring. Yeah, Bud damn outbox the shit out of Conor, man. Bud would outbox the shit out of Conor McGregor in the ring. Easily. Easy. Without question. Conor is a southpaw. Bud can switch hit, orthodox or southpaw. You know what I'm saying? That goes without saying right there. I mean, Bud would give Conor the business. Would give that man the absolute business, man. But it's been absolute pleasure. Make sure you check out my interview I did briefly with Brian Norman Jr., who just fought on Showtime. Once again, salute to him and the team. For getting that win, you know, 17 victories and 0 defeats now, which is awesome. Y'all be sure to support the young rising star, man. Welterweight division. So be sure to support them. But until next time, people, salute to you. Be sure to turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports. Follow me on all social media. And be sure, y'all, to subscribe to the channel, man. Boxing, MMA, grappling, whatever you want to talk about, man, you know what it is. You're trying to get these subscribers up to 10,000 this year. You know what I'm saying? It has to happen. So until next time, to talk this combat sports, y'all be easy, man. Thank you for your support. Salute to you. And I'm out.